Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is safe this week, safe from the storm and everything going on. Um, I do want to add a bit of a disclaimer or trigger warning for this week. We will be discussing certain themes that may be a hard subject for many of us to discuss, especially with the storms going on and all of the damage and absolute devastation in Kentucky, Alabama. Pretty much across the eastern and southeastern part of the states. Um, if any of you have been affected by this or your family has, and you don't feel comfortable reading those types of readings this week, please send me an email. Let me know, and we can come up with an alternative reading for this week and some alternative discussion questions and an alternative weekly writing assignment. Just let me know if you don't feel comfortable reading that right now because I completely understand there's a lot going on. Many of the modules I use in English 101 and 102, I've been building for several years, and the timing for this one is really striking. Um, Something similar happened when I was in grad school. When COVID happened, I took a class reading Albert Camus' The Pest, which was so weird to be reading at the onset of a pandemic because it really gets into um, all the nature of a pandemic. So if you don't feel comfortable, let me know in an email or over Discord. I'm just a message away if you want to talk about it. And if you need help finding resources or an extension on anything because you're impacted by power outages or the flooding or anything like that, just let me know and we will work through it. Um, I know a lot of people out there are going through a very difficult time, so just let me know. With that being said, we have a lot of readings and viewings this week. There is this overview video, which will include a presentation, analysis, rhetoric, multimodality, and images text. We have a Langston reading. For those of you who are familiar with Silas House, we have a video. There's a couple of reaction comics concerning the floods back in 2022. A couple of comics, one of them is a reaction comic. And then we have our readings for the week. Make sure you are reading the Commons assignments for those of you, and I apologize if you can hear my dog eating. Um, Make sure you are reading the textbook readings as well. They're super important. Uh, with that, I guess we'll get into it. I hope you guys are having a good week and you're staying warm and safe, and you are managing to miss all of the really nasty bugs that are floating around. My little household has not been so lucky. So, analysis, rhetoric, multimodality, and image as text. Um, So first, I guess we'll define what multimodality is. Um, it really just refers to the combination of multiple sensory and communicative modes. Think if something is multi, meaning multiple, and then modal or modes. So multiple modes of communication wrapped into one thing. It could be a combination of sights and sounds, print, images, video, music. It could be a video essay because you have a visual component, an oral component. Um, Multimodality spans across genres. It's really just multiple modes of communication wrapped into one text. So if something's multimodal, it might be a video essay or a digital slide presentation. It's a combination of modes in one text. Memes are multimodal because we have a visual component and then we have what's being read. So that's really cool. And text in this class takes on a bit of a different meaning. So usually when you think of text, you think of something you're reading, a textbook, something like that. Um, but really, it's a bit more broad than that. In academic terms, a text is anything that conveys a set of meanings to the person who examines it. So it could be a graphic novel or a personal or academic journal. A photograph could be considered a text, or a poem, or a film, a meme, a painting, a video. Really, text is just something that conveys a set of meanings. When we analyze a text, whether it's written or visual or oral, we search for both explicit and implicit meaning or rhetoric. We might be reading what this text is literally saying, or examining the imagery or the word choice, colors, tones, spacing of whatever text we're viewing. So if we are analyzing a comic, like we are this week, for example, a comic strip as a text, you are analyzing all of the information that's available, all of the sensory input that's available there, and we are unpacking it for meaning. We're searching for what the text may explicitly or implicitly means. For example, if we are evaluating Van Gogh's Potato Eaters as a text, we're looking at the fact that it's dark, the room looks dingy. This is associated with poverty. Colors like yellow, greens, blacks. No one is smiling. It's a very somber looking text. But then there is Monet's Water Lilies, and that feels very different. It feels very tranquil. Even though it's using greens and yellows, it's used in a different context with different subject matter. So the pond and the flowers and the grass come together to make you feel peaceful, calm, tranquil. It's a very calm backdrop. Although they use the same colors, they convey two very different feelings, two completely different meanings, and they come from two very different places. So we can compare visual texts in that way. We can examine old paintings for rhetoric and for the academic value of what we might learn in the same way that we examine what you normally think of as a text, like if you're examining something from a textbook. And we use textual analysis in everyday life. When we're listening to podcasts or watching TV, or we're looking at different product labels, comparing things at the grocery store, we're constantly being bombarded with rhetoric, and we're trying to feel our way through it and understand what we're looking at. But it's our job to examine and analyze that rhetoric. So with this comic sketch or cartoon, this image, we notice that the billboard is larger than the shopping center itself, like it's overtaking it. We know that more people are opting to shop online and less are in person. We can look at all of these little details like out of order. So it feels like it's insinuating that Amazon is running little bookstores and things like that out of business. Next might come the grocery stores because we see this guy looking here really uncertain about what's to come. We look at their facial expressions. We look at any number of things. The little text bubble back here that says good luck, because it's insinuating that if the shopkeeper is going to stay, he's going to need some good luck. And the same goes for political cartoons. We have all of these ruling individuals above everyone else, but they represent interest groups like Standard Oil Trust, Copper Trust, Steel Beam Trust. All of these companies and special interest groups have so much more power and so many more resources, literally and figuratively, if you see their bodies. Um, they are the controlling groups in this little panel of government. So rhetoric is super powerful, and we see it in everyday life. It's persuasive speaking. It is the art of persuasive speaking and learning how to communicate in ways that are effective and to understand and derive meaning from whatever we're looking at, whatever we're hearing, whatever we're seeing. That is all with this particular presentation. But remember, when we are analyzing a text, and a text could be any number of types of things. It could be a multimodal text. It could be just a regular old text in a textbook. It could be an image, a cartoon, all of those different things. When we are looking at those different things, we are analyzing them for rhetoric, and we're looking at all the little details to derive a deeper meaning, not just what's explicitly there, but there's the implicit information and that stuff that we interpret and we dig a little deeper for. So as you're looking through our readings and viewings this week, try to remember what we've gone over here and try to analyze it and find deeper meaning in what you're reading and looking at. I hope all of you are safe and warm. And if you have any questions this week, reach out to me on Discord or through email. I'm always here for it, and I will see you in the next one.